Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Indie Zone. My name is Kathy. We have been keeping you posted regarding the status of the unsealing of documents in the extremely sealed case of State of Idaho versus Brian C. Kohberger that was active during pretrial for over 2.5 years until its closure the better part of a year ago, last July, at which point thereafter Judge Stephen J. Hippler announced a process that he would be undergoing to consider the unsealing of these court documents. Today, in looking at the docket in Idaho versus Kohberger, we have some good news for you, but then we have some bad news and some further bad news for you. The bad news, number one, is as we have reported, there has been apparently some motion practice going on behind the scenes dating back to March 18th that the public only learned about when the case summary page was updated for the first time in several weeks yesterday. And it told us that there were 4 public records that were filed as early as March 18th, 2026, and the last one was filed April 2nd, 2026. All having to do with restitution. As we reported to you, none of those 4 documents were on the court docket as of yesterday. The bad news in looking at the docket today is that they still remain under seal, not yet published on the court docket. The other good and bad news that we have for you today has to do with the matter we have been keeping you posted about, which is that Judge Stephen J. Hippler, after issuing the court order to the state and the defense, asking both sides to provide their objections or non-objections to the unsealing of documents from the first quarter of 2025. Extremely important area, in my opinion, because this is when all of the in limine briefings happened. And many of those motions in limine included with them under seal information regarding evidence. The evidence that the state of Idaho alleged it had in this capital case that would persuade a jury to convict Mr. Kohberger as the sole and the correct defendant responsible for the crimes at 1122 King Road. Judge Hippler, back on December 18th, after considering both sides' objections and non-objections, rendered an order directing the unsealing of 90 documents from the first quarter of 2025 that were under seal. Some of them with redactions, many others without any redactions whatsoever. There were 90 of them in total. Until today, one of those 90 were released onto the public docket, and that happened in February. The good and the bad news regarding what's been released today. Bad news first. I would love to be able to tell you that the document that was released today has to do with one of the in limine briefings, such filings as the state's motion in limine regarding the defense's alibi defense. And we know that there's information under seal regarding that. I would love to be able to tell you that what was released today had to do with one of the defense's motions in limine, such as motion in limine regarding IGG evidence. If you've followed the case, there's probably nothing else, no other topic where more items were under seal from public disclosure than those having to do with IGG evidence. I would also like to be able to tell you that what was released today has to do with another defense motion in limine regarding Amazon click activity evidence. Amazon, you'll recall, is where the state of Idaho claims Mr. Kohberger purchased K-bar, a sheath, and a sharpener delivered to his home. I would like to be able to tell you that what was released today has to do with evidence. It doesn't. What was released today, if you go to February 17th, 2025, you will see a red button New exhibits continued to state's rebuttal to defendant's supplemental discovery response regarding expert witnesses. If you click on that hot link, you're going to see 116 pages, and these are marked with a red exhibit sticker. And as the title on the docket indicates, these are exhibits. This is not evidence. This is information that the state had submitted when there was still a trial that was scheduled to rebut what the defense had submitted regarding potential expert witnesses at trial. We are going to continue to monitor the situation, and hopefully these documents will pop up on the court docket soon. Until next time, this is Kathy. Thank you for joining us here today.